I'm Rachel.
And I'm Sarah.
And this is Effort&Ease yoga that you can practice anywhere at any time and fit into your life with balance.
It's true.
This next flow that we're about to do is going to be a nice little massage for the hips specifically, with a lot of juicy hip openers and an opportunity to find full range of motion in that really central joint.
People love doing hips.
People love hips.
So we're doing hips. Also, this is Pepper. I don't know how much you can see her right now, but she's going to join our class as well today. We love animals here.
We do.
Effort&Ease.
And she's here to remind you that you can always take a rest when you need it. All right, let's get started.
Okay.
We're going to begin this practice by bringing our feet to the edges of the mat. And if you don't have a mat, that's okay also. You want a kind of wide-legged stance here. Bend the knees a lot to hinge the hips back and come into your wide-legged ragdoll. So just hang heavy here. Allow the crown of the head to get a little bit closer to the earth and keep enough of a bend in your knees that your hands can connect with the ground. Using the first few breaths of this practice to simply surrender to gravity. We spend so much time in yoga negotiating our relationship to the ground that here in the beginning of practice, it can feel like a really sweet surrender to just submit to it. Let the weight of this planet pull some space between each individual vertebra. Again, keep the knees super soft so that your belly can stay connected to your thighs, and start to walk your hands over to the right side of the mat. If it's available to think about, try to keep your hips square. So pull that left hip farther back as you tent up onto the fingertips of the left hand and pull the left hip away from the left wrist, creating length and space all along the right side of your body, from the wrist up to the hip, down to the ankle. And then walk your hands back through center and take them over to the left. This time you're tenting up onto the fingers of the right hand. Pull the right hip away from the right wrist, lengthening through the right side of the body. Press even more weight into your right heel. And then bring the hands back to center once again. This time walk them farther forward, maybe about a third of the way up your space, keeping your biceps with your ears. Tip your tailbone up, spread the sits bones, feel even more length in the back of the legs. And then on an exhale, bend the knees, tuck the tailbone, and start to bring the hips towards the heels. Now you might only get to this far, that's fine. If you have more space, you're gonna bring the hips all the way down and let the torso kind of cascade between the thighs. Stretching now from the tip of your tailbone all the way up to the crown of your head as you round and curl. It's like a cat-shaped spine. On an inhale, tip the tailbone up. This would be your cow-shaped spine now, extending, pulling the hips back and up, stretching the arms forward. And then again, exhale, round and curl. Come down as far as you can. Hips towards heels, belly button to spine, chin to chest. One more like that. Inhale, tip the tailbone up, spread the sits bones, stretch along the back of the thighs. Exhale, round and curl, tailbone down, hips to heels, chin to chest. On an inhale, start to straighten the legs once again. Keep the knees as soft as you need to, and then walk the hands forward. We're coming to a wide-legged plank at the top of the mat. Sarah, you push her to the side to make some more space. So here in the wide-legged plank, your feet have stayed at the borders of your mat. Press into the balls of your feet. Tuck your tailbone under, pull the belly up and in, making the whole front side of your body concave and hollow, making the back side kind of puffy. Think about the space right between the shoulder blades and lift and broaden that up to the ceiling. Send even more weight forward, maybe bringing the shoulders past the wrists, and pause, feeling that internal heat begin to build. Keep your toes tucked and your arms straight, and slowly, gently start to bring your hips towards your wrists, engaging the quadriceps. Keep the knees floating off the mat as you pull your heart through your arms to your wide-legged floating up dog. Getting longer here from kneecap to shoulder cap. Draw the belly button up to the sternum and broaden through the collarbone. Take your eye gaze over your right shoulder And then let your left shoulder follow for a little twist. Good, now let your hips and heels roll to the left for a bigger twist, lengthening all along the left psoas. Good, come back to center, floating the up dog. And now bring your eye gaze to the left. Let your right shoulder follow, little twist. Let your hips and heels roll to the right, bigger twist. Good, one more time, back to the floating up dog at center. See if the pose feels any more spacious than it did upon entry. Maybe yes, maybe no, just gathering information. And then bring your knees to the mat, your hips towards your heels, big toes touch, child's pose. As you draw your hips back, reach your arms forward, tenting up onto the fingertips. Like you're playing a little piano on your mat, crawl your hands farther forward, feel the scapula lift and glide away from the hips. Bring your forehead down and let your hips settle a little bit deeper. Bend at the elbows and bring your palms together in prayer. Take that prayer to the back of your head. Let your thumbs rest against the nape of your neck. Stretch the elbows forward, lengthening through the triceps, and press the shoulders down. Open your heart and throat to the earth. Set an intention for your practice. It could be a thought, a word, a dedication of energy, anything that might give this time meaning, purpose, or simply joy. And then on an inhale, stretch your arms back forward. Tuck your toes under and lift your hips back and up to a turbo facing dog. Here in the turbo face, knees are bent, heels are lifted. Hands are pressing down to send the belly back toward the thighs and the chest towards the knees as you spread the sits bones. Keep the knees super soft and drape your hips and heels all the way to the left side of your mat. Squeeze your left side waist, get longer from right fingertips all the way up to the right hip bone. Tent up onto your right fingertips, push the fingertips down, lifting the palm up. Good, and then squeeze your right elbow into your waist, keep your knees bent. And on an inhale, reach the right arm forward, stagger your side plank. Now you can stay in the staggered side plank, or you can lower your left shin to the earth if you need a little bit more support here. Keep reaching the right arm farther forward. Sarah's gonna keep showing the shin down version. I'm gonna lift mine back up. Step your right foot all the way to the top of the mat. Elevate your left knee. You're in a high lizard lunge. Bring your right hand to the back of your head. Peel your right elbow open wider. Tuck the left rib cage under. Pull the right rib cage back. Eye gaze up to the ceiling. Good. Then on an exhale, bring your right elbow towards your left forearm or wrist crease. Countering the twist. We're gonna flow here. So on an inhale, right elbow lifts. Eye gaze up. Exhale. Round and curl, draw the elbow towards the left wrist or forearm. One more time, inhale, twist open. On the exhale, twist closed. Place the right hand down underneath your right shoulder and press your hips back. Let the left foot rotate to a 45-degree angle. I call this pose a messy Parsvottanasana. You're allowing your stance to look somewhat like the more traditional pose, but the emphasis here is on sensation rather than alignment. We're just thinking about lengthening through the back of the right leg and the left side of the torso. So you can keep both knees soft. You can let your butt shoot out. Find the place that feels like a meaningful lengthening. Final exhale here, find your depth. And then on an inhale, start to shift forward once again. Bring your shoulders over your wrists. The left knee can come down here. Sarah will show that version, or you can keep it lifted. Rotate to the blades of your feet for a reversed Skandasana. So here in the reverse skandasana, you can place your right hand inside your right knee and press it open a little wider, or you can keep both hands on the floor. And again, you can be doing this version where we have our hips down, or you can be in another version if you don't have quite as much range of motion at the hip joint. This will feel like a very rewarding stretch. Good. And then from here, placing your keeping your left hand grounded, bring the left shin to the mat and step the right foot behind the left. So you're opening the knees wide to a little diamond shape. Stretch your right arm overhead, get longer. Options here. You can lower your butt down first and extend the left leg and then lift up. Or if you're trying to do it a little bit with more of a challenge, you're going to keep pressing through the ball of your right foot and extend your left leg. Dancer's bridge. From there, right hand down, right foot down, high plank pause. We're returning to the floating up dog. This time the legs are closer together. It's a little bit deeper. On an inhale, bring your hips towards your wrists, heart through the shoulders. Good. On an exhale, round and curl. Pull the belly button to the spine. You can lower your knees at this point if you need more support. Protract your plank. And then bend at the knee, press through the balls of the feet and slide the hips back and up to your turbo facing dog. Back in the turbo face, let your hips and heels swivel to the right. Squeeze the right side of the rib cage, lengthen through the left intercostal muscles, tent up onto the fingertips of your left hand. Start to bend your left elbow, draw it in towards your waist, and then extend the legs, stagger your side plank. Remember that you can bring your right shin down to the mat here for the transition. Step your left leg all the way up to the top left corner of the mat. We're arriving in a high lizard. Rotate the right knee so that it faces the earth and bring your left hand behind your head. Twist your chest open. Use the weight of your head to open your left shoulder. On an exhale, left elbow to right wrist crease or forearm. Counter the twist. Again, inhale, open the twist. Exhale, close. One more time. Inhale, rotate open. Exhale, rotate closed. And then place your left hand down underneath your left shoulder and draw your hips back as you allow your right foot to settle to the mat. Messy Parsvottanasana. Again, we're just looking for sensation here rather than alignment. Using the inhale to make space, the exhale to move into the space that you created on the inhale. Gradually deepening with each breath cycle. Hello. I knew you'd come. Good. And then start to shift back forward. Bring the shoulders over the wrists. Rebend the left knee. And remember, you can bring your right knee down all the way, which Sarah will show, or you rotate from here into your revolved skandasana. The left hip might be able to come all the way down to the mat, or it might stay a little lifted. Press the left knee open wider. So again, for those of you who are in the modified version, the knee is down, and you're simply opening, focusing on the back of the left hip. Good, final breath here. And then with the right shin grounded, press into your right hand. Let the right shin rotate. Step your left foot behind your right ankle. Let the knees open wide to a little diamond shape. Stretch your left arm overhead. Option to lower to your seat first and lengthen the leg, or press into the ball of the left foot and lift the hips up, dancer's bridge. Good, and then bring your left hand down to the top of the mat. Your left foot meets the right. High plank. You can replicate that floating up dog to a protracted plank, or you might add in the chaturanga. So knees can lower to the earth to preserve good alignment, or they can stay lifted. Elbows bend, triceps graze the rib cage, come halfway down, hover, and then scoop your heart through. Upward facing dog. Hanging here on hands and tops of feet. Take your eye gaze to the right, let your left shoulder follow, little twist. Just like we did in the wide-legged variation, let your hips and heels roll to the left, bigger twist. And then press your hips back and up, twist your dog. So your heels are moving to the left, your toes fan out to the right. Options here, you can stay, or you can add on a twisted bow, or a balance, bringing your right hand to your right ankle, reach your left toes high. If you'd like even more of a challenge, you can find your left foot with your right hand and pull the toes forward. So lots of options here. Final breath. And then lower the left foot if it's lifted. We're coming back to that twisted down dog. From the twisted down dog, back to the twisted up dog. Left hip, left wrist crease, look to the right. Back to up dog at center. Eye gaze goes left. Right shoulder follows, a little twist. Hips and heels roll right, bigger twist. Press the hips back and up, twist your dog. Just like on the other side, you can stay right here, pressing your heels to the right as the toes fan out to the left, or you can add on left hand, left ankle, right toes high, balancing on 2 points. You can stay there, or you can take a twisted bow, bringing your left hand to your right foot and pulling your toes forward as you kick your foot into your hand to open through the left shoulder. We meet in a twisted down dog. And then back to the twisted up dog. Right hip, right wrist, look to the left. Good, back to your upward face at center. And then tuck your toes, lift your hips back and up. Downward facing dog, first one of the practice. It's a short practice, so it's likely going to be our only one. Think about pressing the heels down, lengthening through the Achilles tendons, rotating your arms so that the armpits face the mat, and pressing the weight of your hands into your fingertips. On an inhale, right leg sweeps the sky. Three-legged dog. Bend the knee, open the hip. Good. Now, think about drawing the right knee underneath your body. Keep it bent. Swivel it over towards your left knee. Maybe even cross the left thigh. Maybe. And then peel it open once again, three-legged. Good. One more time. Swivel. Draw it under. Open. Three-legged. Last time, this time as you swivel the right knee underneath your body, cross the right ankle over the left thigh, figure four. Press your hips back. Flex the right foot. Push the right knee behind you. Lower both shins to the mat. You're in a figure four table. Walk your hands forward. Now, you can stay right here, pressing the hips back, or you can make this a puppy pose, bringing your forehead down to the mat, or if you have the space, maybe your heart and throat all the way down. And on an inhale, if you're lowered down, press into your hands. Shift forward, bring your right shin all the way up towards your right, or both wrists, pigeon. In your pigeon, we're not really too worried about getting the right shin parallel to the top of the mat. Although it's moving in that direction, it can still be at an angle. What we do want to think about is allowing the left hip to rotate down. So even if you're upright, think about bringing the left hip down towards the mat, and then slowly, breath by breath, maybe you bring your torso down a little bit more. Maybe the forearms. Maybe you can come all the way down and use your upper body as a little weight to press the right leg deeper towards the earth, opening all along the back of the right hip. A few more breaths here. If there's any variations you like to add on to your pigeon, you can move into them. I'm going to show you a shoulder floss. You can walk your right hand forward and then thread the left arm underneath. You might stay right here, or you can take your right hand behind your back and maybe even find your right toes. Spending a little bit longer in these gravity-assisted stretches to let the full benefit kind of seep in. Final exhale. And then place your hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck your left toes and pull your right knee, that was not so graceful, up and into your chest. Good, step the right foot back to meet the left, high plank. You can add in a vinyasa here, a chaturanga to the upward face, or if you're with us, simply press your hips back and up to the down dog. On an inhale, left leg sweeps the sky. Bend the knee, open the hip. Swivel the left knee underneath your body. Draw it in towards your right quadricep or your right kneecap, and then peel it open three-legged. Again, swivel. Draw the left knee in towards the right leg, and then peel it open. Last one, this one changes. Swivel it in, and this time, cross the left ankle over the right thigh, figure four. Press the hips back. Lower both shins to the mat. Options. You can walk the hands forward and press the hips back, or you can bring your forehead down for a puppy pose. If you have the space in your puppy pose, you might even bring your throat down. Yeah, right? Oh my gosh. Pepper, you're so thematic. And then place your hands at the top of the mat. Pull your left knee forward. Shin towards wrists. What's the problem? Everyone loves yoga. And everyone loves Sarah. So in pigeon, you can stay upright. You might have cattail in your face, like really both of their butts. Like right, it's because it's a hip flow. They felt the need to demonstrate their great hips. And then you can stay upright, or you can start to bring the torso down. Remember, we're not worried so much about the angle of this left shin. It might be working its way towards parallel, but okay if it's not. What we do want to think about is keeping the right hip heavy so that it can work its way down. So even if you stay upright and you're bringing that right hip towards the mat, the pose is really doing its work. It's being effective. Otherwise, if you want more, you're going to bring the hands all the way down to forearms, or even rest the torso against the left leg. Softening here, breath by breath. If you're interested in the additional shoulder loop, you can walk your left hand forward and thread the right shoulder under. You can stay right there, or take the left hand behind your back and find your toes. And then again here, just simply breathing. Keeping in mind that the hips are the largest joint, a really easy place to note little side-to-side differences. And that the mark of a truly sophisticated practice is being able to greet those differences with curiosity and interest rather than judgment. Avoiding the habit of labeling good side, bad side. And just noticing without attachment how a single body can have such vastly different sides and how intriguing that is. Final exhale here. And then place your hands underneath your shoulders. Preparing for the exit, tuck your right toes, pull the left knee up and into your midline. Step the left foot back to meet the right. You're in your high plank. Again, you're welcome to add in a vinyasa here. If you're with us, you're just meeting in the down dog, lifting the hips back and up. From this final downward face, walk your right foot one step forward. Bring your left foot behind your right and lower into Sukhasana. Cross-legged, easy seat. On an inhale, reach the arms up. On an exhale, simple twist, left hand, right thigh, right hand behind the back. Eye gaze over the right shoulder. You might slip your right hand into your left hip pocket. And then bring your eye gaze over your left shoulder, counter the twist. Hands back to center. On an inhale, reach up. On an exhale, twist, right hand, left thigh, left hand behind the back, or into the hip pocket. Eye gaze over the right shoulder, counter the twist. And then bring the hands back to center. This time, place them in prayer. Bring the prayer to your heart. Thumbs rest against your beating center. Take a moment to reconnect to the intentions you set at the beginning of practice. And then take a moment to just scan your body. Sending your awareness to all the little nooks and crannies. And envisioning for a moment here the energy that you have circulated through your body. With your breath, with your intention, with the shapes that we took on. How this energy is now flowing, unimpeded, unrestricted, nourishing everywhere it touches. Namaste.
Namaste. You can't hear me over there.
This is Desitin, full name Desitin Binks.
These are clearly Rachel's pets.
They are.
It'd be weird if you named my pets in the video.
It would, but we can bring Evie.
I also have a dog,
She has a little fox dog.
but she barks a lot, so I don't know how productive that would be for yoga.
Maybe we'll bring her for the core day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has core energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
Like and subscribe.
And comment. Tell us what you
And
want us to make.
That too.
Because we want to make it.
We do.
Thank you.
Bye.